welcome again to the big match. I suppose it's questionable in football who's been written off most times, Jimmy Greaves or Denis Law. Well, in today's programme, we have proof that both are a long way from finished yet. Also, the greatest day in the life of a 16-year-old, Derek Johnston of Glasgow Rangers. But our main match today is Crystal Palace against West Ham.
Greaves going on, and now Hurst, can he turn it back? No, good work by Jackson.
Also, Manchester United against West Bromwich Albion.
And Aston's header, and Cantillo off Ribber's body.
And Scotland's showpiece, Celtic against the Rangers. And delighted to welcome as our studio guest today, Tommy Taylor, the teenager who's just cost West Ham £78,000, and he'll be talking, of course, to Jimmy Hill. Yet one more look at that really remarkable Rodney Marsh goal from last week, and we shall also be asking, do you like your footballers with long hair or with short? But now it's action from Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace against West Ham, and odd to think that the league tables make West Ham the underdogs here. But it really has been a most brilliant season so far for the Crystal Palace club. And today they feel they're just about their strongest side, and there can be no doubt at all what a difference two ex-Chelsea men have made to that outfit, men that they bought in the summer from Stamford Bridge. Alan Birchinall, that fearless striker wearing the number 10, and Bobby Tambling, recently in great scoring form for the Palace. West Ham have been knocked a bit by injury, but there's still so much flair about them, and in the side today, for his second game in the First Division, is the fellow we've just seen in our studio, Tommy Taylor, from the Orient. And having his second game in a comeback is Brian Deere. The referee today is Ray Johnson from Lowestoft. The crowd is Palace's biggest of the season, over 41,000.
So Crystal Palace then, the side that have shocked so many people in the First Division and delighted so many in South London, get us away in a match which is so crucial to West Ham, although there are signs of late that they are halting their slide a little. But a West Ham side with only one win this season, and that was at home against Burnley. Tommy Taylor and Birchinall going in hard for that one. Jerry Quinn, a flick on there for Birchinall, and Taylor just getting a foot to it. Birchinall turning it again, and Bobby Moore for West Ham. That's looking for Hurst. McCormick right there with Hurst. And now Sewell. To Blythe. A flick forward to David Payne. Tambling, scorer of 3 goals in the last 4 games for Crystal Palace. And a free kick. Kemba taking it quickly. Tambling. Kemba has such a magnificent under-23 game for England 10 days ago. And now Peter Wall. Jimmy Greaves now for West Ham. Brian Deere, the man who thought his career in the first-class game was finished. Then he was discarded by Fulham and by Millwall. And McCormick back to Jackson. Queen going hard for this one, and Queen winning it and finding Birchinall well. There was a good aggressive piece of running there by Jerry Queen. Oh, and a miss kick, and Kemba in hard on it. And now Bobby Howe. Peter Eustace for West Ham in their second strip, all light blue with those claret hoops, and Hurst not given offside. But nobody up there at all with him. Picture of Geoff Hurst there, you'll notice, shielded by John McCormick, and I imagine McCormick will be hoping to do that in every sense throughout the afternoon. But John Jackson, his 98th consecutive game for Crystal Palace, with the kick. Moore just about getting ahead to it, and Lampard in turn turning it back to Peter Grodier. Tony Taylor back to John McCormick. Wall right up, and Taylor, another very aggressive player, a Scot, but Eustace beating him, and the ball falling nicely there for Jimmy Greaves, with Bobby Howe outside him and Lindsay coming up on the outside as well. That's aim for Bobby Howe. Still Howe. And a goal to West Ham from Bobby Howe. with 5 minutes gone. My goodness, he took it well. In a fairly crowded penalty area with good skills and a good finishing shot from Bobby Howe. So West Ham then into the lead with just 5 minutes gone. Well, I think the last time we did a West Ham match, Bobby Howe scored a really cracking goal against Chelsea. Now very quickly he's done it again. Jerry Queen, he's going to be quite a handful for Tommy Taylor. Taylor, the other Taylor, Tony Taylor with the kick. Peter Wall. That West Ham penalty area is so crowded. Birchinall at the far side getting ahead to it. But he must have used an elbow to lever himself up a little higher. Alan Birchinall. Well, exactly the start West Ham wanted. John Sewell there giving his orders. Kemba. But beaten there by Jimmy Greaves. And McCormick getting ahead of Hurst. Well, a good lively pace so far. Birchinall trying to come away from Tommy Taylor. And Tony Taylor now away with Bonds really streaking after him. And now Payne. And flicked away there by Jimmy Greaves, right back. Good break from midfield too by David Payne. And it was Jimmy Greaves right back on the edge of that 6-yard area who finally put it behind for this corner by Tony Taylor. Queen really leaping for it, but not quite getting it. And a free kick given for West Ham. Brian Deere with Mel Blythe watching him. Ball only just getting as far as Lampard. McCormick. Taylor to Birchinall. And now looking for Kemba. Played there for Taylor, first time under that West Ham crossbar. Grotius got a deep for it. Queen was in hard on him and taking him unfairly. Lampard. Good piece of running here by Eustace. He's got Deere in the middle and Hurst as well. Greaves going across to help him. That's Jackson's. So quarter of an hour gone, and West Ham leading by Bobby Howe's goal, scored after 5 minutes. Wall. Birchinall going for it. Good control by Birchinall there, with his foot and on his chest as well. Good control for a big man like that. Payne playing that nicely off for Birchinall again. Kemba, good understanding here by Crystal Palace. Kemba across. Moore struggling to get it away. Payne. Played wide now for Taylor. Very good slick build up there by Crystal Palace in a corner. Good final tackle by Billy Bonds, which you can't take away from Crystal Palace. That really was a most skillful build up with Birchinall playing such a prominent part. Wall to put it across. And Jimmy Greaves getting ahead there first and doing a good defender's job. Jimmy Greaves. Still so odd to see him in a West Ham shirt after all those years at Tottenham.